Welcome to Personal Development Mastery Podcast, and this is another Snippets of Wisdom episode where I select my favorite, most insightful moments from previous episodes. Today's snippet comes from my conversation with Keith Parker, an innovative energy healer. The snippet I chose from that conversation is about how our thoughts affect our physical body functions, and how can energy healing actually heal the physical symptoms. I hope this is as insightful for you as it was for me.
Your energy field is a reflection, or contains, you could say, the contents of your experience. And that is basically all of the psycho-emotional stuff that you hold. Your memories, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, all are structured in the energy field. A thought has a form. This is classical terminology. Thoughts have forms. Thoughts are things. This is a big deal, right? Thoughts are actually things. Thoughts don't not exist anywhere. Thoughts exist in your energy field. So when we have experiences, when we have traumas, when we have forms of conditioning that create psycho-emotional dysfunction, right, where we hold on to the kind of a belief that says, I'm not good enough, or I don't have confidence, or people who are holding on to lots of anxiety or worry or fear. All of these different kinds of forms of conditioning that come to us throughout our life, particularly in early life, or through the kinds of inheritance that we have through ancestry or other means. These create structures in the field. And those structures in our field, they impose a certain rigidity on the flow in that field. Just like you want blood to flow in your body, and that demarcates health, right? You want really good blood flow in your body, and you'd be in good health in general. You want really good flow in your field. And what blocks do, what held emotion does, is it creates a structure in the energy field that inhibits the energy flow, and then it translates into the connection between the body and the field, in which the body then isn't able to take up its natural regenerative process, is how we generally would describe that. So the connection between the body and the field is that things that are happening in the field happen first. Right? We call this a field-first model, meaning a thought precedes doing something in physical reality. So if you want to go to the store, you think of going to the store. If you want to make a pizza, you think of making a pizza, and then you can actually physically go to the store. Then you can actually physically, make a pizza, right? So our thoughts are actually held in our field, and when we have certain thoughts that are very strong, that get patterned over and over and over again, they actually start to crystallize, or you might say they start to become hard. And when they become hard enough, what they can do is they can actually start to make their way into what we experience as physical symptomology. Like things like disease starts to arise in a person. Now, this is a model. To keep in mind, this is a theoretical model because it's obviously in opposition to a traditional Western medical model, but it does give you a kind of a mechanism to understand why something as simple as the placebo effect exists, is that our thoughts or our beliefs affect how our physical body functions. And that's kind of obvious from our direct experience, but it is the opposite of what the paradigm is at the moment. So I'm presenting it as a kind of a theoretical model, but I can see directly that thoughts are things. They arise in your field, and these things called held emotions, when resolved, what they do is they give us inner freedom, but they also allow for the physical body to be in a greater state of health and vitality.
Let me ask you then, directly related to that. So, how can energy healing actually heal the physical symptoms?
Okay, so the physical body heals itself. It's a principle, right? You don't have to do anything to heal your physical body, right? If you get a paper cut, you don't have to watch your hand or tell your blood cells or your skin cells to patch it up, right? So the body heals itself. So the model here is that psycho-emotional stress inhibits natural self-healing. Psycho-emotional stress inhibits natural self-healing. So the psycho-emotional stress, we're saying, is contained as a structure in your field. So, for instance, classically, okay, let's just give an example of somebody who you can understand this better through a person's experience. For instance, the liver as an organ is very well known, for instance, in traditional Chinese medicine as being related to anger. Okay, so when you express the energy of anger, your liver as an organ is very active in general, classically and archetypally. So let's say a person is very angry a lot of the time. Let's just say it's a person who holds a lot of anger. They hold it in, they repress it, or they express it outwardly all the time. But let's just say a person has a lot of anger energy, a lot of anger in their life. Okay, the presumption here is there's going to be a lot of activity in that person's liver, a lot of taxing, draining the liver. That person might develop a certain kind of a liver problem. Okay, let's say they develop a certain kind of a liver problem. Now, they might go to a psychologist and talk to the psychologist about the issues in their life, and they say, I'm a really angry person. I just have all this anger all the time, and I also happen to have issues with my liver. No connection made. Okay, let's just say there's no connection made. But they just know I have a liver disease, let's say, and I'm a really angry person. They work through their anger issues with the psychologist. I'm not even getting into esoteric energy field stuff. It's just like they start to work through and understand where all this anger is coming from, right? And they actually have a lot of release. They have emotional release. They start crying a lot, and they're converting all that angry energy into the sadness that's behind it. And they actually acknowledge the patterns of behavior. They acknowledge the relationships that built up these belief systems and these perceptions, which then had turned into behavior of anger, right? So this person has a huge amount of therapy, emotional release around the therapy, recognizing all of the stuff around the anger, right? At the same time, they notice that their liver disease starts to go away. Their liver starts functioning better. And they're not sure why, but to them, they did therapy on anger, and then their liver started to function better, okay? What's happening there is the structures in the energy field related to anger were going away. Like imagine having tons of inflammation in your energy field around the liver and releasing all that emotion, the held structures, the blocks around the liver, right? Made it so that the physical body isn't inhibited by the obstructions in the energy field. And all of a sudden the physical body can then fix itself. So it can do exactly what it's trying to do all the time. But now the structuring in the energy field, the structuring in the emotions, the structuring in the belief systems and the held memories and all those things, they've been softened, they've been let go of, they've been expressed. And now the physical body goes, great. Energy field's out of the way, mind's out of the way. Now I can go and do what it is I've been trying to do, but I haven't been able to because of all this blockage.
Thank you for tuning in. You can listen to the full conversation in episode 265. The link is in the show notes. If you've enjoyed this episode, can you find one person that you think it would add value to and share it with them? I would really appreciate you. It helps grow the show, and it also helps you add value to people you care about. Thank you so much. Until next time, stand out, don't fit in,